Hey, what's up everybody? Just wanted to make a quick video about the final legend race and what I assume is meant to be the hardest race in the game. I'll have the full race without commentary at the end, but this one felt like it needed a little extra to hopefully help you all complete it. There are two shortcuts we're going to try to abuse here that I will get to in just a sec, but first I want to go through how I went about prepping for this one. First off, let's talk about which Chocobo I use. I was originally using a speed build on Pico, which was working great, but as the races got harder, it felt weaker and fell off a bit, or maybe I was just playing worse when things got harder, I don't know. But then I swapped to Selena because I think Selena looks the coolest visually. There was no other reason behind it. The Choco Bubble ability was useful and helped me get to Legend, but I noticed that 99% of the races I was struggling with had one thing in common, and that was those pesky Cactuar gates. So that is how I eventually landed on Fango. Fango's special ability is called Choco Jump, and using this ability we are going to take out the Cactuar gate as a variable completely, as well as cut some corners and just make the race easier in general. This ability lasts an insanely long amount of time, and abusing this we will be able to make the race easier. On top of that, it recharges quick enough to be ready by the next set of Cactuar gates. Gear-wise, my thought process was pretty simple. I originally was trying to make it so I could use Choco Jump more than once, but that didn't work out, and I ended up just saving it for when I needed it most on those aforementioned Cactuar gates. But just understand that that was my thought process going into the gearing part of this. So with that in mind, intelligence is a stat that affects your Choco ability. So I went with Saurian Helm, which comes from the Nibelheim region, which has the special effect of increasing our intelligence. The Tropical Shaw from the Costa del Sol region, which I believe you have to complete the Rendezvous in Costa del Sol side quest for this one before it becomes available. This increases the effective items you pick up, which should make it easier for us to get our ability back quicker. And the Debonair Anklets, which comes from finishing first place in the Ultima Stakes Grade 3 race course, which gives us increased speed when we're about to finish a race. The last one's probably something you could switch out, but I actually was just barely losing a lot of races and happened to finish in a tie with Joe, which I didn't even know was possible in my first Gold Cup race. So for me, it made sense. Now, with the prep out of the way, let's talk about the race itself. There are a few key spots we want to zone in on while we're going through the race. The very first one is pretty early in the race here, just before this big turn. It looks daunting, like there's no way you're going to make it because of this spinning obstacle, but it is actually a joke how easy it is to avoid and pass through unscathed. All you want to do here is hug the left side as close to that line as possible, and it's pretty simple to get by. Yes, I drew that arrow and line in MS Paint. You're welcome. This is how it should look in execution. Once I realized how easy it was, I didn't mess up a single time, so it's not that bad. The very next part with more spinning obstacles, you can simply hug the left wall and never have to worry about swerving through. The very little bit of time you waste going back over once you're through is so minuscule it doesn't even matter. For this next part, I recommend staying to the left. Almost every time I went right, I somehow managed to bounce off the triangle obstacles for some reason. Some of you are probably built different though, so do whatever is comfortable. I just prefer staying to the left. Once you arrive at this area, I suggest not falling for the bait of taking the jump. It gets you an item to boost your Choco ability that you won't need because we're saving for the Cactuar gates anyway, and it does seem to be way slower than staying on the ground. For this part, the lane you're going to want to hit most of the time is this one. Despite where it looks like I'm going in the picture, the lane with the arrows in this picture is the one that will get you the length of the way the fastest. You can then swerve to the left slightly to grab a speed boost and the dash panel. Alternatively, you could go left side for the jump and a dash consumable, but I think it was slower, or at least it felt slower when I went that route. Almost immediately after that is the next big shortcut. You can cheat with your eyes a bit to the right to see it coming with the shiny arrow block, but you want to try to turn right here. This will give you a big boost and launch you into the air, allowing you to get to the next turn quicker and not have to worry about drifting or anything. After this is smooth sailing, dodge a couple of bombs and then the Cactuar gates, and that's where we're going to abuse our Choco ability and cut some corners and skip those gates completely. I'll let this footage loop while I talk, but it's essentially pop the ability, skip almost every obstacle you can, don't worry about missing the dash panel, just jump over the 3 gates, Try to hit the next dash panel after the gates with a drift if you can. Honestly, not a big issue if you miss it, but you essentially want to be as far to the right as you can on the next turn with the boxes, because you can jump over this turn with your ability. Jump over the spinning wheel, then jump the gap to cut some time before the finish line. I'd say use dashes when you get them. I don't remember really saving them for any specific moments. I kind of just popped them the moment they would let me, or the moment I got them. Keep saving your ability for that last part with the gates, and that should be it. Might take a few tries. It took me a couple with this method, but I think once you get the shortcuts down, especially that first one, it's pretty easy. Alright, I'll let the full race play out now. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment and consider subbing, and let me know what other videos you all want to see from me for this game. Until then, I'll just keep uploading what I think is cool or helpful, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later!